Hello to our grandmothers, mothers, sisters, cousins, nieces, friends. We are on vlog number 24. And this one might be a little bit disturbing because I was disturbed. I was disturbed in my sleep. I was asleep and I didn't have no warning this time of trouble coming. And I was so mad I didn't know what to do. So it took me a while to go back to sleep. But anyway, I'm in a deep sleep and I heard someone trying to open the back of the van, the hutch, the trunk, in other words, back of the van. And the van shook a little bit because he was trying to pull up that handle. And so I said, "Who is it?" And I said it real loud and rough because I knew somebody was trying to open up the back of the van. And I was thinking, the nerve. So I got a chance to look through my little area that I could see out, and it was a man running to his little red car. And I said, he had the nerve to approach my van and try to open it. God have mercy on his soul. Because I had so many knives, long butcher knives, huge, in every crevice of that van. He would have been sliced in half. But I said, you know what, Lord, you usually wake me up and let me know trouble's coming, so you're teaching me something today. Okay, and I accept it. So I had trouble falling back to sleep because I said, well, if the guy come back, well, he gonna reap what he sowed. But I was thinking, well, it'll take a little while. I looked at my clock. It was about 11:30, so I had slept real good up until then. So I was up most of the night. I turned on my phone and listened to some gospel music and had a good old time. And I felt myself getting a little sleepy. But I don't know, as the night wore on, I don't know if I had a good night's sleep because at work I was on my third cup of coffee. I always limit myself. So when I'm getting kind of like to the third cup, I'm not going to drink the whole cup. It'll be half of it. But I was so exhausted. I said, when I turn in tonight, it's going to be a lot earlier. But nevertheless, I was thinking, I got a not really a good description of the guy, but he was maybe he was short, and his red car was kind of like an old Honda. But I said, you know what, that's okay. If he comes back, I'm gonna recognize his car, and uh, it's amazing because later on, when I got back to my van after work, I was trying to spot that car and I didn't see it. But I did see the police, and they were towing a car that had been in that parking lot for, I would think, maybe 3 or 4 days, and it didn't, it was never moved. So it's key when you're in your car, ladies, that you change the location, the space that you're in. You got a good lot, that's good, but just change the parking spot that you're in. And I don't know how many days I had been at that spot, but it's weird because I always park under the light pole so it can illuminate the van. I don't know if it was illuminated that night, but that guy really, really took a chance because if I didn't park right under it, and if it was a car there at that light pole, I would park next to it. So at least one side of the van was really illuminated. But I said, this guy really took a chance. Because the minute he would have opened up that hatch, he would have been sliced. No doubt about it. All the knives in the van were longer than a foot. I had a good set of kitchen knives, and they were good at cutting ribs and large chunks of meat. So yeah, he would have been in for it. Now I don't know if he was coming to me with gun or a knife himself. I don't know. I had pepper spray. I had everything for protection. So I was thinking. I said, Lord, you teaching me something this time because you usually wake me up. Now I know that I have always believed that there were guardian angels around that van. And I know that the guardian angels are always present. When you call on them, they're there. When the Lord sees you in his favor, they're there. So I said, okay. Well, I wonder if that's going to happen again. But nevertheless, it's okay. Then I turned on in later on that night. I turned on in a little earlier. I went to sleep. After listening to some of the gospel music, I was able to, again, before I went to bed, I was able to get some sleep. But I was thinking, wow, in another week's time, it's going to be September 11th, 9/11, when those people had no idea that they weren't going to live the next day. And they went to work. And here it is. I had placed in my notes in my journal. I said, here it is, 16 years later, after 9/11, and our world is still stunned by cruel people. And I said, that man that touched that van door, he was a cruel person. How do people fixate in their mind that they want to destroy someone else's life? That is really ridiculous. But ladies, listen. If you're in your car, if you're on the street, have your weapons ready. You may have godly weapons too, but have your weapons ready. It's good to be able to protect yourself. And I know back in the day when people used to fight, if they didn't have a knife on them and they couldn't afford a gun, they always had a little bottle and had bleach in it. You can throw bleach in a person's face and you can ruin them. So have some type of protection. If it's not bleach, it can be alcohol. It will put your enemy in a stance where he'll be trying to find out if he can see again. But anyway, protect yourself. And I never saw that little red car again. I never did. And that's a good thing. But anyway, look, we're gonna stop today, right now, and we're gonna begin again in a couple of days. Be blessed. I'm praying for your protection. Bye bye.